Wake up with Patti Katter.
I love the show.
I never miss an episode. It's the best.
I turn it on and turn it up. You're listening to and watching Wake Up with Patti Katter. Today, I have a really special guest on the show. I don't even know how to announce him. He's like my older brother, even though he's much younger than me. And those of you who know Adam Bird, you know that Adam Bird and I have been on the Decision Hour for quite a while. And I've known Adam for a long time. I don't even know how long. A decade. I don't know.
About a decade now.
Yeah. So I'm very excited to announce Adam Bird from Heroes Media Group. Adam, welcome to my show.
Thank you, Patti. Longtime listener, first time caller in. Glad to be here.
Yes. So Adam, what have you and Heroes Media Group been up to?
Oh, wow. I'm trying to think of the last time I was on the show. It's been over a year, I think. And since then we've grown. We just recently got another producer here in the last several months. So we're excited about that. New website launched a couple months ago. We got some new shows that are on the network. So we're excited about that. Some new sponsors have come on. So different companies and stuff that we're working with. And now that things are kind of starting to open up across the country a little bit, we're starting to get back into events. We were at NASCAR recently, and then we also did a MMA event down in Arizona recently.
Wow. Did you get offered to perform in the...
No. That's not something people would pay to see. It's no.
I don't know. I mean, I throw in some $25. Anybody else out there?
Watch me get my ass whooped. Yeah, no, I got it.
I mean, you're a big dude. I don't see that happening.
There was a time in my life where I was going through that phase. I was training quite a bit, like 3 nights a week. And I was a little heavier, as there's no secret with you and I that Adam likes to, not have food portion control or anything like that, but I've been very good. I've lost about 20 pounds this year already. So
that's amazing. You're looking good. I meng probably when you cut your hair and beard too, you lost a little because you're looking cleaned up. You've got your hair. Those
lighting. Of course, you guys can only see me from about the shoulders up. So.
So everybody who's following my group on Facebook, you can see pictures of Adam and I, and you can see how tall are you again? You're only really 6 foot.
Yeah, I'm about 5'5", really. So, 6'2", 6'3".
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I joke and I tell everybody Adam's like 6'7". But really,
well, when we're side by side, I mean, it's like Beauty and the Beast. I mean, it's like giant, and it's like, oh, Patti right there.
I met somebody in DC at a Trump event one day. It was before he was president, and this lady, she came up to me and she's like, "You're not Patti Katter, are you?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh my God, you're short. I thought you were going to be almost 6 foot tall." So I thought that was kind of funny. I must appear tall on camera until you see the pictures of Adam and I together.
Yeah, it's quite hysterical, really.
We have a lot of fun. I love hanging out.
There's never a dull moment when the two of us are in the same room. Mm-hmm. Literally never a dull moment when the two of us.
There's not. It's just, we're really fun, you guys. So when we have an event, hopefully one of these days, you'll have to come and just hang out with Adam and I. Adam, there's a lot of different things that we've talked about on the shows. And so besides, I really want people to know a little bit more about what Heroes Media Group does in case they're listening out there and they're looking for, what do you do? I mean, you're my sponsor and one of my sponsors, and I know what you do, but to those listening who they're like, man, I might want to start a podcast, or how does this podcasting thing work?
So so to answer that part of it, the Heroes, I myself have the HMG brand as a whole. So I got a couple of different companies. Heroes Media Group itself it's a digital media publishing company. So we do for podcasters, whether they're businesses or individuals that want to start a podcast, we'll consult with them. We'll get them started. We'll do the editing. We can, and just a plethora of other things. We basically help people and businesses get started in the podcasting world. And we can be very hands-on or hands-off as much as that particular client wants us to be. We also do the publishing side of things. So we'll walk people through. We have coaches that help people that want to start writing a book, walk them through that process. Or maybe you have a manuscript that's done. We will do the editing side of it. We can do the artwork for it. We can actually publish the physical copies of the book and help you self-publish from there. And then from the publishing side of it, we've also have an audio. We help you do the audio book and stuff like that as well.
So here's a question that I know some people want to know the answer to. I know the answer. I asked Adam before if I could do ghostwriting through Heroes Media Group, and he said yes. So those of you who are out there, if you're interested in writing a book, you can ghostwrite. I mean, then if you don't want everybody to know your identity. We have people that are looking for ghostwriters. Mm-hmm. So by all means, send us an email. You can email me, Adam at Heroes Media GRP, and just in the subject line, put ghostwriter, and I'll set up a call with you. Yeah. I love that because not everybody offers that. I also love that you make sure that all of your employees are in the United States.
Yep.
Also, Heroes Media Group is pretty exclusive, you guys. So it's not like they will accept anybody who wants to do podcasting. They're very patriotic and they want good quality shows. So I like that about them as well, because you can host your show on any platform, but at the end of the day, who's behind that platform?
Right. Yeah. We there's actually several cases right now, clients that we have that we don't host because the shows don't necessarily fit our narrative and whatnot. It doesn't mean we won't work with you from an aspect of, maybe your show's a little too risque, we'll say.
Mine's pretty risky.
If you're borderline R to something else, there's a good chance you're not going to make our platform. But we do consult for people and whatnot, but that doesn't mean we'll necessarily put your show on our network. Ours is very much, we support law enforcement and the community heroes, law enforcement, your firefighters, your first responders, educators. It's a big thing for me. And then there's a clergy, side of it as well. Really, if you want to be on our platform, we just ask that you support our community heroes.
Mm-hmm. Now, those of you listening are probably eager to hear some throwback things. Adam and I did a show when we first started doing the Decision Hour of kind of like vintage shows. We did like 70s, 80s, 90s, and it was so fun. The next guest I'm having on my show is going to be DJ Supreme from that song, Whoop, There It Is. So I told Adam before the show, I was like, it would be so fun just to kind of talk throwback. So Adam, when you were growing up and when you were a teenager, what kind of jeans did you wear? Let's start there.
Oh, what kind of jeans did I wear? Mm-hmm. I think they were like, I don't know, like Levi jeans.
I knew you were going to say that. You still wear them, don't you?
Yeah, I do now, but I remember them being cheaper back then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Of course, I wasn't paying for them.
I remember when my friends, when we were little, the boys would wear tough skins.
I don't even remember that. I do remember like, all right, here's one for you. Did you pinch roll your pants back in the day?
Yes, we called it pegging, but now that has a different meaning. Oh my gosh.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Who's going to edit that out, huh?
Yeah, I was just looking at the time on that. Actually, I'm going to just leave it. Oh. So we pegged our pants. That's when you would pinch it and you'd roll it up twice after you pinch them together. Yeah.
Or let me ask you, what color Zumba pants did you have?
Oh, well, were those like MC Hammer pants?
Yeah, they were like the MC Hammer with like the tiger stripe, like different colored tiger stripe.
I didn't ever do the patterns, but I did have a pair of black and white MC Hammer pants.
Or like the parachute pants. You remember those?
Yeah.
They had like the Michael Jackson zippers on the side and all that other stuff.
Yeah. So all the way up until I was in probably 10th grade at school, I was not allowed to wear pants. I went to a really strict school that was a very strict Christian school. So I had these horrible things called culottes. They were disgusting. They were like shorts, extra baggy, all the way down to your knees. Actually, they had to be 2 inches past your knees. So now you can see why I am like I am today, talking about peg pants and stuff. But once I was in 10th grade, I started being able to be a little bit more stylish. I did have very poofy hair. So get this. When I was at the private school, the girls' hair could not go up past the tips of your fingers. So that's how tall my...
you had like the 80s hairband.
I did.
Hair.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah. 80s hairband.
Yeah. Yeah, shut up. I love you, but shut up. So what about your hair? Did you ever have a mullet?
Oh God, no. Actually I tried to do the mullet once, but my hair like curls naturally when it gets long. So I had like this little
oh no, not the tail.
In the back. So then I went from that to the tail. Had a rat tail for a little while. Yeah, was that what it's called? Yeah, rat tail.
Yeah.
Had a tail for a little bit. But when I was younger, like early 80s, I legit had the bowl cut.
Oh man, I want pictures. I will pay your wife for pictures.
It was literally like my mom was like thunk and just ting 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 like around. It was horrible.
Not
horrible.
Good.
Yeah.
One time when I was, I think in 8th or 9th grade, something like that, I went up to my friend's cabin. They had a cottage up north. In Michigan, they call it everything up north if it's up past the middle of your hand on the map, So we would go up north. And one time we had this brilliant idea to do our own hair. So I had really long hair and I chopped it up almost to my ears and bleached it blonde. So that was an experiment.
I did the bleach stuff when I was out of high school, I guess. I was in the military. I was in the Guard. I got in trouble. It was a big no-no. But yeah, other than that, I really didn't do anything wild with my hair.
What about your music? What did you listen to when you were a teenager?
Oh, I was an equal opportunist when I was younger. It was like at the time growing up, Michael Jackson was huge. Prince was huge. But then you had like Joan Jett was another one that was huge. This was like those 80s bands, early 90s. And then you had like the 80s hair bands, Motley Crue, Metallica, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses. I'm trying to think of like, I didn't get into like the whole boy band. That was like my sister's era, That's really it. There's some country, but like old school country, like Kenny and Dolly, Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton, that era. Oh, Elton John, Stevie Nicks, even some of the older stuff was like, it wasn't surprising to find like cassettes because that's what we had at the time.
Yeah.
We were pre-CD era.
Recording songs off of the radio on a cassette tape. Done that.
You're sitting there waiting and you got hit the button.
And then the commercial always cut into the song and you'd hate that. So you have to cut the end of the song off. Oh, so annoying. Oh my goodness. So what about video games? Did you play video games?
Oh yeah. I had the Atari when I was younger, the Nintendo when it first came out.
Mhm.
Then it was like Sega Genesis, and then it was back to the Nintendo, and then blah 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 whatever. I mean, when I was middle school, it was like Sega Genesis with like Tecmo Bowl, and Bo Jackson was like the star athlete of anything back in that time frame. So it was like everybody wanted to be like Bo, because Bo knows, stuff like that.
Wasn't it horrible when you would die in a game and you actually have to start all the way back at the beginning of the level?
Oh yeah, you throw the controller. Controller and stuff like that, and then you get grounded. You're like, why are you throwing stuff? Well, I just died. I spent the last 10 hours trying to get to that.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this, tell us, what did you listen to? What did you grow up wearing? What era were you in? It's funny because I feel most connected probably to the 90s and the early 2000s. When I was just in the 10th grade, I started writing for a pretty big newspaper, the Flint Journal, in a teen section. So I would write from everything about cafeteria food to music. And when it was in the early 2000s, I was a pop music columnist. And I used to go to a lot of concerts and interview a lot of musicians that were pretty popular. I'm just trying to think.
This
Uncle Cracker.
Career.
Huh?
This was before your rap video career?
Yeah, it was. Okay. Yeah. But you know what was before that too? So after I interviewed Uncle Cracker, I went to a Ricky Martin concert, interviewed him, and I won second place in a Ricky Martin dance contest. It was in the 2000s and it was in Detroit. It was huge. So I did pretty good. I was shaking my bum on. But I've always really loved music. And so I'm really excited about having DC Supreme on my show. I think that's going to be fun. And it's actually, it actually is kind of provoked me to go ahead and start interviewing some other music artists. So I'm excited. Yeah, I'm going to.
You've got the history of doing it. I don't know why you wouldn't want to.
I know. I love it. And I've had a lot of great people coming to me too, to have them interview them. So
how long have you been doing Wake Up with Patti Katter now?
It started in November of 2019. So
it's going on 2 years.
Yeah.
It's been that long already. Wow.
Yeah. And I've been really great about pumping out the shows religiously every Friday morning.
You're very consistent with it.
Yeah, which is super important for you guys listening, especially when you go to Heroes Media Group for your podcast. One of the things I would tell everybody, the biggest thing I think for me has been consistency. It's so important to grow your audience that way because people expect you to do a new show every week or however often it is that you commit to it. And if you don't, then they'll just fizzle out and find someone else.
Yeah.
I don't like
consistent will keep up with the engagements and stuff as well.
Yeah. Super important. And it makes jobs, like it will make Adam's life easier too if you're consistent. So, and whoever else you're working with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So please, if you send something to me and like, I need this out tomorrow, I'm just going to like, yeah, that's not going to happen. But
no. And I always tell people to pre-record several shows so you have those in your bucket to pull from when something happens.
I think that's the biggest mistake podcasters make now. I get that there's certain shows that you just can't really do that. But I mean, if you can load them up for a rainy day, even, pick a day and knock out 4 or 5 episodes if you can. Do it on a weekend or whatnot, and do that for a couple weekends in a row. You got the rest. Next thing you know, you got entire content for an entire year, and you could take 6 months off, and you would still have 6 months worth of content. You don't have to worry.
Yes. Yeah. Thank goodness. I actually had several shows pre-recorded. I had. Some of you probably don't know this, but we had an unexpected company for a very extended amount of time. And it was really hard to podcast during that time because my house was kind of busy. And then my daughter had COVID and I had some other things going on, which, by the way, if you're wondering, she's totally fine. It was less than a cold to her. Nobody else ended up getting sick. We had a house full of people. Not one other person contracted it. So whatever, we're over it. So thank you everybody for listening. And Adam, go ahead and share all of your social media content.
You can follow Heroes Media Group on all the platforms at Heroes Media GRP. You can also follow yours truly on all the platforms at Mr. Adam Bird.
Yeah, because he was a school teacher.
That's right.
And if you don't know about that, listen to the last episode that I recorded with Adam, and you can find out more about that. You can also listen to our shows about, for instance, assuming things about people, going on a road trip, vintage throwbacks. Talking about some crazy vintage styles.
We did vintage throwbacks. We did food, obviously.
Yeah.
We did road trip tips. Was another one.
Gosh, we did so many, and it was so fun. We had a lot of fun.
We had over 75, 80 different episodes that we've done.
Yeah. So definitely go back, and I'll link those in the social media that I have, and check out those episodes. And I'm sure that I'll have Adam again on the show. We just recorded an episode for the Decision Hour. So I will also link the newest show that we've done together for the Decision Hour. And Adam, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for being a good friend. And thank you for doing everything that you do, because you help a lot of people out there.
Well, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you. I'm very proud of what you've become and what you're doing. So
you helped create this monster. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Everybody, be sure to check out my social media at Patti Katter, PattiKatter. Also my clothing line, thepatrioticmermaid.com, and go to my website, pattikatter.com, PattiKatter. Thank you. And until next time, have an amazing day and rest of your week.
Thank you for listening to Wake Up with Patti Katter.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all you do.
Follow Patti at Patti Katter on Facebook and Instagram.
Get social.
You can now watch Wake Up with Patti Katter on Amazon TV and Roku.
It's the only podcast I listen to.
Be sure to check out Patti's apparel line, The Patriotic Mermaid, at thepatrioticmermaid.com and on social media at The Patriotic Mermaid.
I love it.